I'm Elise.
And I'm John. Tonight we ask that you indulge us in enjoying this unique and once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I mean, really, how many times do you experience a global pandemic that locks you in your house for months in your lifetime?
Half a year ago, we created this little show that we intended to perform on stage. The main premise was to curate a script of only monologues from various plays.
With these monologues, we intend to tell you all the story of life through the lens of contemporary theater. Each monologue is a stepping stone through the human experience.
Some scenes will be a monologue with a silent partner, and some will be stitched together to create a dynamic moment with monologues from two different plays.
With everything that's happened, we've been thrown quite a few curveballs.
Quite a few.
But this live stream was the solution. What you're going to experience tonight may be the first of its kind.
The performance was recorded live. There is no editing.
It may seem jarring and hard to get into at first. Don't worry, we know. Some scenes will switch with very little warning.
We hope you can understand that we worked hard to remove as many distractions as possible, but it may take a moment to adjust to the nature of the performance.
So sit back,
Relax.
Grab a snack,
and enjoy the show.
I know you're probably mad at me for leaving before the funeral, but I just can't do it. My whole body itches, and it won't stop until I can't see this house and this town and this state from the rearview mirror. This way is better. This way, I'll come back from my trip and I'll go straight to school. You won't have to look at me or think about me. You can tell people you have a daughter, but you won't have to talk to me on the phone or see me on the couch. I'll be a no-maintenance daughter just like you always wanted. I'm going now. I know someday you'll want to talk to me again. Maybe after I graduate and get a job and get engaged and buy a house and have my own daughter. Then you can talk to her and be her favorite, and we can pretend you were a really great mother. She doesn't have to know, and I don't have to tell her. But I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna push you out of my mind. And I probably won't think of you until I reach the Grand Canyon or some other fairly good canyon, and maybe I'll cry in front of the mammoth orange hole in the ground, or maybe I'll smile because it's so beautiful and I'm free and windswept. But first, I'm gonna get in Susie's mom's car, and we're gonna drive until there's drops left in the tank, and as we cross the border into Massachusetts, we'll roll into the first gas station where I'll get some ding-dongs or some orange soda, and I'll bite into the first one sitting on the hood of the car, watching the car slurp up gas. Then I'll get in the driver's seat. I'll put my foot on the accelerator and I won't stop until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. So we pull over And we both lay down and close our eyes and sleep until we're both awoken at 3 a.m. by separate but equally terrible nightmares.
Maybe you just give up chocolate. Give up chocolate? Don't you see what you're asking me? You're asking me to give up the one constant in my life. The one dependable support system in this damn unpredictable world. You act like this is some small modification, like closing the toilet seat. This is a colossal alteration to the very fiber of my being. Why not just take me out and shoot me? That would be humane. That would be merciful.
Same.
And don't you get started on health food, because in an emotional crunch, carob just don't cut it. Look, what you don't understand is the rich history chocolate and I have together. It isn't just so much cocoa and sugar, it's spiritual sustenance too. Chocolate and I go way back. It was over Hot Fudge Sundays that Debbie Pulaski comforted me after my breakup with Larry Sullivan. It was with Double Fudge Cake that you relayed the news that Debbie was dating Larry. And it was during a fudge making party that you, Debbie, and I celebrated the triumph of sisterhood and the dumping of Larry.
You're Larry.
Yeah. Look, I could tell you stories of pot brownies and hot August nights with melted Hershey's Kisses, but why get into it? Suffice it to say, if you take away my chocolate, I will die. Or at least suffer severe DTs. I guarantee it won't be pretty.
Okay.
Eve, dear, don't be silly. Let's be in love while we can. They say youth is the time to be in love, isn't it? Soon you and I will be dull and stupid and middle-aged like all the other tedious people, and then it'll be too late. Youth passes so quickly. Let's not waste a second of it. They say the mayfly only lives for one day. He is born in the morning. All afternoon he flutters over the river in the sunshine, dodging trout and flirting with other mayflies. And in the evening, he dies. Think of the poor mayfly who happens to be born on a wet day. The tragedy of it.
Did I want to say? I know your secret. You don't love me. Isn't that it? Oh, it's all right. You can't help what you don't feel. I guess you didn't. Right along. And I've loved you such a long time now. Always, it seems. And you've sort of guessed that I did, didn't you? When you didn't love me? No, don't say anything. I'm sure you guessed, only you didn't want to know, did you? That's why you were lying, but I knew. I'm not blaming you. I couldn't. It was just fun. And
No.
don't look at me like that. I'm not hurting you, am I? I wouldn't for worlds, hurt you. And then you found we could be such good friends, helping each other, and you wanted it to stay just like that always, didn't you? I know. And then I had to go and fall in love with you, didn't I? It was so stupid. I couldn't help it. You were so kind and different. And I wanted to share in your work and everything. I knew you wouldn't want to know I loved you when you didn't. And I tried hard to be fair and hide my love so you wouldn't see. And I did, didn't I? You never knew till just lately. Maybe not till just today, did you? You never knew before, did you? Did you?
Well, yeah, physics has a name for the things you can't see elsewhere. Like if I'm transmitting something light years away, the time it's in transmission, we lose it.
Ma'am.
During that time, it's elsewhere. It's unknowable. Irrelevant.
Ma'am,
My sister used to bury my favorite toys when we were kids. It took me a while to figure out what was happening. I'd get a new doll, and I would tell everyone how much I loved its yarn hair and its jagged smile, and before I knew it, it was gone. When I finally figured it out, I was able to unearth some of my toys, never the ones I wanted most, but I found some by digging all day long, day after day, in randomly chosen places. Eventually, the adults got involved and my excavations were shut down.
Okay.
Maybe I should have been an archaeologist. Are archaeologists lonely? Do they stay up at night thinking about civilizations they wish they could have been a part of? The loneliness is the only thing I can't get over. I accept that they're dead. I accept that I'm terrified of leaving the house, but I can't stand how much it hurts to be alone. It burns with the lack. The emptiness. I could take all the rest if there wasn't such an emptiness. Sometimes I order things I don't want just so the delivery man will show up and talk to me for a minute. But he just hands me the package and leaves again. What about you? Is your job lonely? It must be nice talking to people all day long. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I wasn't letting you talk. Well, anyway, I don't have a car, so no. I don't need car insurance. Hello? Hello? Man's enemies are those of his own household.
A man's enemies are those of his own household. Yes, especially if they love.
You, on account of your love for me,
Have tyrannized over me.
Bothered me.
Badgered me.
Nagged me. For 15 years.
For 15 years, you have interfered with me, taken my time and strength, and prevented me from accomplishing great works for the good of humanity.
You have crushed my soul, which longs for serenity and peace, with your perpetual complaining.
Oh, yes, of course.
But you see, my dear,
I am more philosophical than you, and I recognize all this as necessity.
men and women are natural enemies, like cat.
And dog, only more so.
They are forced to live together for a time, or this wonderful race could not go on. In addition, in order to have the best children, men
And women of totally opposite temperaments must live together. The shock and flame of two hostile temperaments meeting is what produces fine children.
Well, we have fulfilled our fate and produced our children, and they are good ones. But really,
To expect also to live in peace together,
we as different as fire and water.
or sea and land, that's too much.
Too much.
This may be the last time I come here. Here's where I first kissed you. I kissed you that day, you know. I kissed you because I could not help myself. Even now, I try to exert control over myself and I can't. I try to appear content and I can't. I feel how my face quivers and my blood feels thin. My skin is dry. I can hardly breathe. I have no power to show something other than what I feel. I am destroyed. And even if I try, my lips will not smile. Instead, I cling to you and make it harder for you. You have never loved me. It's perfectly true. When I was at home with Papa, he told me his opinion about everything, and so I had the same opinions, and if I differed from him, I concealed the facts because he would not have liked it. He used to call me his doll child, and he played with me just as I used to play with my dolls. And when I came to live with you, I mean that I was simply transferred from Papa's hands into yours. You arranged everything according to your own taste. And so I had the same taste, or else I pretended to. I'm not really quite sure which. Sometimes I think one and sometimes the other. When I think back on it, it seems to me as if I've just been living here like some poor woman from hand to mouth. I have existed merely to perform tricks for you. But you would have it so. You and Papa have committed a great sin against me. It's your fault I have made nothing of my life. Goodbye. If I don't look at you, it may be that I can let you go.
Are you awake? Hey, are you awake? Uh, Sorry, I know it's late. It's just I saw the guy who killed your mom. I mean, I knew he was out on bail. I didn't expect to just run into him like that. I don't think he recognized me. But I knew it was him. Those photographs are burned into my mind. I mean, he was just there all of a sudden. I came out of work and there he was, just walking down 23rd Street completely free. Oh, the nerve of him being alive while Carrie is oh, hey, hey, you're okay. So, I followed him. I followed him to a grocery store and I watched him buy orange juice and coffee. I followed him to his apartment building and I waited outside. I waited so long that my legs were tired from just standing. It started to rain. I was about to go home, just forget the whole thing. And then he came out. So I followed him. I followed him to the subway, onto the platform, and I stood next to him while we were waiting for the next train. I could have pushed him right into the oncoming train. I could have done that then. Instead, we both got on. And when he got off, I got off. I followed him to this church down in the basement. They were having a meeting for people who are trying not to drink or take drugs anymore. Am I supposed to feel better that the guy who killed your mom with a car is going to some meeting? Is that supposed to make everything okay somehow? Other people get up and tell their stories, and I'm looking at him, and all I can think is murderer. 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 Oh. I'm gonna take care of this. This is what I can do. It's his fault you have no mother. It's probably his fault you never cry. I'm going to make sure he's punished for it. It was my wife you hit with your fucking car! She just went out to get milk. It should have been me you hit instead. I had just come home. It was a long day at work, and she was like, "Can you go to the store?" And I yelled at her like a fucking asshole. She was like, "Fine, I'll do it." I should have stopped her, but I let her walk out the door with her big swollen belly. If it had been me, maybe I could have gotten out of the way when you ran the red light. She couldn't move as fast because she was carrying our child. Or maybe not. Maybe I'd be dead too. Either way, it should have been me. But it wasn't. So now, I'm here with this gun. So what do you have to say for yourself? I'm looking for books on marriage. How to have a good marriage. What to do, what not to do. How to be a good husband. How to love the right way. How to best make love. Not fiction, mind you, or the things on the internet. More like old knowledge. The things our souls know that long ago were passed by word of mouth, generation after generation, and then translated into 1,000 languages, but have been forgotten. Oh, also some of the new science. Not a series, not a series of, not one small study. Not pseudoscience, and not a series of essays written on deadline by someone who doesn't know enough, who knows how to write but doesn't know how to think. Also, how to be a good father. No, not the trends, not the sexism, or maybe some of the sexism, but the kind in which it is easily recognized as such. Oh, also, how to be a good person, how to live life the right way. I feel like I'm starting my life finally with someone, and I I don't I don't want to make too many mistakes, and I want to be happy, or if not happy, the other thing we're supposed to be, of use, worthwhile, honest. I want to be vulnerable and love completely. Do you have a book like that?
Hi! This is weird. Hi. I wanted to, well, I don't know what. I saw Charlie. I went to see Charlie, I mean. Oh, this is hard. Suzanne, I guess I came for your blessing. I know we were never what you call the best of friends. Not that I don't have any animosity. I understood. I wanted good things for you. Better than what happened. I mean that. I'm not bitter. I'm resigned. I have my books. I have my tea. I'm not complaining. I don't want an exciting life. Excitement has never really been the... But that's not what I came here to say. It's been a long time. When I let him go all those years ago, I guess what I'm trying to say is I want him back. But just to say, I want to get to know who he's become, and I can't do that if I don't feel like it's okay with you. I've come to formally make peace with you so that he and I can... What am I saying? He doesn't want me. He has his own life, his own ways, and can never work. And he doesn't need more love. The love you had was enough for life. Wasn't it? I'm so sorry. Please rest peacefully. Sorry.
I can remember the day when Mother told me that Papa has gone away. And when he didn't come back, I imagined for a long time that he had died. And I often wept bitterly about at night. But after a while, I met him on the street, and with them was that woman for whom he left my mother. I stood inside a doorway so that he might not see me. I, a child, was ashamed to be in his presence. Yes, I soon understood that my mother was quite free, free as if she really had been widowed. Pardon me, I expressed myself badly. But why shouldn't we speak naturally of simple and natural things? I I felt impelled to take your hand as if it were indeed my father's, for I know how much my mother loved you. There, you mistake, Henry, for I understand very clearly. If I could bring my mother back to you, to us, my God, what would I not give to have her sitting here with us for one single evening?
It's not easy. I'm not saying I thought it would be easy. I don't know. It's been just the two of us, and that has worked sort of, but it's also not working at all. I could use some help. If only your father were here. He would know how to talk to you. He was amazing in his interactions, wasn't he? He made people feel good about themselves. It didn't matter if he was talking to a mechanic or a doctor. That's who he was. I don't know who he was. Do you remember his funeral? The whole town came. They said it was the biggest turnout they ever had. For weeks, people came by with breads they made, cakes, dinners. But then after a while, they stopped coming and they forgot about me. It was him they liked, not me. And now I go to the grocery store and there's no recognition in anyone's eyes. Maybe they've forgotten him. Or maybe I'm just a reminder that he's gone. Maybe they were never really his friends anyway. Or maybe they found out. A town like this, so small, they must have found out, they must have known. You don't remember what he did, do you? How he did it? I tried to hide it from you, but I don't know why he left us. He was just lost. I tried to be there for him, but he just wouldn't let me see. I thought I knew him, and with one quick action, he made it clear I didn't know him at all. Which is why it worries me you're having such trouble. A man like him could do that with him, with you, with all of your problems. Evan, open the door. Evan. Evan. Evan, open the door. I'll get the sledgehammer, I'll get the axe, open the door! Is this something to be worried about? Should I be worried? Evan! You're not like him, are you?
No. It happened to me. It didn't happen to you. You made up your mind and walked in with the air of a god on holiday. It was I who fell, headlong, dizzy, blind. I didn't want to love you. It was a force too strong for me. It swept me into your arms. I prayed against it. I had to give myself to you, even though I knew you hardly cared. I had to. My heart was in your hands to do whatever you liked with. You could have thrown it in the dust. It pleased you not to. Instead, you put it in your pocket. But don't you realize what it is to feel that another person has absolute power over you? No, you have never felt that way. You have never been utterly dependent on another person for happiness. I was utterly dependent on you. It humiliated me, angered me. You see, my dear, I was in love with you, and you were free, and your heart was your own, and nobody could hurt you.
You see, it's been a great many years since I've been able to allow myself to fall in love. I know lots of charming women, but the worst of it is that they're all married. Women don't become charming, to my taste, until they're fully developed, and at that time, if they're really nice, they're snapped up and married. And then, because I am a good man, I must place a limit to my regard for them. I may be fortunate to gain friendship and even warm affection from them, but my loyalty to their husbands and their hearths and their happiness obliges me to draw a line and not overstep it. Of course, I value such affection and regard very highly indeed. I am surrounded with women who are most dear to me. But every one of them has a post sticking up, if I may put it that way, with the inscription, "Trespassers will be prosecuted." How we all loathe that notice. In every lovely garden, in every dell full of primroses, on every fair hillside, we meet that confounded board, and there is always a gamekeeper round the corner. But what is that to the horror of meeting it on every beautiful woman and knowing that there's a husband around the corner? I have had this accursed board standing between me and every dear and desirable woman, and so I thought I had lost the power to allow myself to fall really and wholeheartedly in love.
Hey, remember me? Josie? I live in an apartment by an expressway. Sometimes it seems like it's poison, but I won't live there forever. Oh, you wanted to marry me, but I kept saying not yet. Not yet, but not because I didn't love you. I loved you. I love you. But I thought I was missing something. I thought I was missing my father, but now I found him, and it's him. But it's not him, and he doesn't even seem to know who I am. I don't know if he'll ever remember me. He looks through me. I don't look like I used to. I'm taller. I'm changed. I'm grown and he doesn't even know who I am. How could he? I'm a stranger standing here.
Never. Oh, I beg your pardon. No. I've never married. I hadn't the time, matter of fact. Oh, I I dare say she's the mother of a large family now. Oh, dear me, how times do change. Ah, as I was saying, I was very much in love with her at the time. At at the time, you understand. But the family, her family, uh, you understand, rather objected to me. So I, I broke off the whole affair. I joined the Indian service, and I've been quite content. Quite. See her? See her? Oh, dear. No, it might be rather embarrassing for both of us. Uh, uh, you see, we were practically engaged at the time. Well, that is to say, I hadn't come right down to asking, but you you know how some things are understood, so to speak.
So I'll leave you with this. Yes, they'll forget us. It's our fate. It can't be helped. A time will come when everything that seems serious, significant, or very important to us will be forgotten or considered trivial. And the curious thing is that we can't possibly come to find out what will be regarded as great and important and what will be feeble or silly. Didn't the discoveries of Copernicus or Columbus, say, seem unnecessary and ludicrous at first? While wasn't it thought that some rubbish written by a fool held all the truth? And it may so happen that this present existence with which we are so satisfied will in time appear strange, stupid, inconvenient, unclean, perhaps even sinful.
What else can I say in parting? Life is heavy.
To many of us, it seems dull and hopeless, but still it must be acknowledged that it is getting lighter and clearer, and it seems that the time is not far off when it will be quite clear. Mankind used to be absorbed in wars, and all its existence was filled with campaigns, attacks, defeats. Now we've outlived all that, leaving after us a great place, which there is nothing to fill with at present, but mankind is looking for something and will certainly find it.
Those pictures don't give out impulses to the artist. The impulses they do give out are only the emotions that satisfy the student who has learned some of the rules and then sees the rules worked out. The artist produced the rules as a side issue, but you are trying to make the rules produce the artist. That's what happens when people as a whole lose the creative sense. They are satisfied with things at secondhand. Secondhand philosophies, secondhand expressions of life, and secondhand philosophies to justify the expressions. It's a kind of conspiracy in which everybody works against everybody else. Only the few real artists in any generation break through it and into the light.
Unseen.
And seen.
And seen.